Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Chitutu, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining my experience post having a baby, postpartum, post C-section for you guys. So essentially, before I had a baby, I had all these thoughts, all these fears about how do people manage to live, even just breathe, what happens, what happens after you have a kid. I mean, obviously we know the process is painful, but are you damaged forever? Do you just have those moments where you're sitting and you just shiver because it was just a very traumatizing, deep, painful experience? But having lived through it, living and breathing right now, I will say that after, you do forget. I think honestly I remember, but because I don't feel the pain anymore, in a way I can say I've forgotten, but I obviously remember the pain that I felt. It's just not that deep, it's not that scary anymore, and to me I thought I would never get over the pain. I mean, maybe it's different for natural birth, but for me that has been my experience. I've sort of forgotten the pain. Well, I've put it behind me more than I expected to, because I really thought that it's something that you'd never really get over, although people still have managed to have more than one child, because I don't know why. I don't know the why. I don't know the reason as to why after the pain, or at that point I didn't know, but now I know it's because really you do forget and you get over it, and life goes on. So straight into how it felt like immediately after. I guess the best way I can describe the feeling is I felt like I had been hit by a truck, not even a bus, not even a car. I felt like I had been hit by a truck. I felt like I was a wreck. My body was a wreck, and that for me was, I guess, a physical rock bottom, like the lowest of low points. I mean, if somebody has to change your pee tube, peeing tube, if somebody has to change your, what you might call it, your urine bag, I think that is close enough to rock bottom, to be honest. And yeah, that was it. That was what was happening for the first, I will say, for maybe 3 days. I really did feel like I had been hit by a truck. I was in pain. The pain gets less and less by the day, but I was in pain. And eventually, I was trying to, sort of gain my independence, do more by myself so that I can get stronger faster. And I remember going to the bathroom and not being able to come back by myself. I had to call for help. So, yeah. It was painful. While I was pregnant, I found it very difficult to sleep, and I used the pregnancy pillow from quite an early stage. I think maybe, okay, I'm not sure if this is early or not, or it's just the normal time, but maybe from 5 months I needed support. I needed support to sleep, just to be comfortable. And even after having the baby, I still needed support. I didn't have my pregnancy pillow with me at the hospital. If you do get a pregnancy pillow, I do recommend you carry it with you to the hospital, to be honest. I mean, if you can, why not? But yeah, I had to roll up a pillow and put it on the side of my stomach to support me. If I lie on the side, whichever side I lean on, I would put a rolled up towel to support me on that side, because when I lie down and I face this side, I would just feel you know what I mean? People say, okay, I've heard some people say that it feels like your organs are falling out. It doesn't, to me, it didn't feel like my organs are falling out, but I did feel unstable. I felt like I need support. My body needs support. And at this stage as well, this is while I was in the hospital still. I was in the hospital for, I think, 4 days. While I was in the hospital still, for half of my hospital stay, I think I wore adult diapers. That's another thing. That's another indicator. To me, that was another indicator that I was at rock bottom, And this is, I never planned or thought that I would have to use them. But remember, if you watch my birth story, I said that the nurse had recommended that we buy some stuff, and that was one of the things that was on the list, adult diapers. And when I saw them, I was like, what's this for? But in fact, by the time I was seeing them, they were on my body. So yeah, I just woke up and I was strapped in the thing, and I was like, wow, this is something. This is really something. And there is a lot of bleeding in the beginning, obviously, but it goes down. It's supposed to go down anyways. If everything is fine, it's supposed to reduce. And initially what I had prepared was just like extra large pads. They wouldn't have worked, in my opinion, because yeah, I seemed to need those diapers to be. I don't know how I would have survived without those diapers. I still have like a few left, but they're pretty huge. They're like this big. They're like the size of a truck. I also had to wear a corset, like I guess it's like a medical corset, to be honest. It's not necessarily for, you know, snatching your waist or what. At first it kind of felt like bondage. I was like, this thing is making me uncomfortable, blah blah blah. I tried to take it off. When I tried to take it off, I felt like my stomach started swelling up, and I was like, okay, no big deal. But then when I tried to turn, and I felt like I need that support. I put it back on real quick, and I think I wore the corset for about. So essentially, I think the biggest notable things in the first week were I needed help to walk around, like to go to the bathroom, and also to take a shower. I needed help for a bit, maybe 3 days as well. I think I mentioned 3 days a lot because I think the first 3 days are the hardest 3 days. Afterwards, I still was in a lot of pain. The pain goes down with time. Part of the requirements for being discharged was I had to do a number 1 and number 2, and doing a number 1 doesn't seem that complicated, but then after you've had a tube where the pee is supposed to come out, it's a bit painful. However, I did it, and even the number 2, it wasn't that bad actually, but altogether everything hurts, everything is painful, but the pain really does subside and you get over it, you move on, you get stronger. At first I was told that I would need 3 months to recover. This wasn't necessarily by the doctors. The doctor, like the medical waiting time or, you know, healing time is 6 weeks, but you know, I was told I would need 3 months to heal. And initially when I heard this, I was like, 3 months, like that's a lot. But I needed every single minute of that 3 months to actually feel like, you know, my body was stuck back together, like, you know, everything that was cut was merged back to where it was supposed to be. I needed every single minute of the 3 months. I think after 3 months I really did feel like a person again, like at least, you know, like I can go outside, I can do things and not feel like I'm going to die. Another thing actually, you know, in the final stages of pregnancy, your pelvis sort of like loosens to get ready to give birth, and my pelvic area, like my bones and stuff, really, they hurt. And even let's say like a month, or even maybe after that same 6 weeks that I was supposed to be fine, when I would take a walk, I would feel like, first of all, I felt like I was lopsided. I was like and I was like, yeah, am I ever gonna be okay again? But yeah, one thing is I did feel, you know, sort of bent. Even when I sit down, I felt like I was not necessarily straight. That went away. I don't feel like that anymore. And also I would feel pain, like if I take a walk, let's say maybe like a 1 kilometer walk, by the time I'm coming back from that walk, I will feel, you know, shattered. But once again, with time, it stopped, and I do feel better. I think mostly what I would say still hurts is my back from time to time, but other than that, that's what happens when you have a baby. You experience pain, but the pain goes down. As for at-home care, basically you're not supposed to lift anything heavy, and as to what exactly is anything heavy, you don't lift anything heavier than your baby. That's the standard, or that's what I read online, because I spend a lot of time online reading on what to do. So yeah, don't lift anything heavier than your baby. I think that worked for me, to not, you know, tear up the incision or whatever. And all I had to do was sort of wipe down the scar area with spirit and just let it aerate as much as possible, and it healed quite well. I think it healed very well actually, and right now it feels fine. I can live life. I'm okay. I lived to tell the tale. So if you're afraid, it's okay to be afraid. To be honest, when I reached 8 months, I was just hoping that my stomach will start shrinking back and suddenly the baby will be here, because I was afraid of going to, you know, have a baby. I was really scared of, you know, what happens when you have a baby. But that's basically what happens when you have a baby. You experience pain, you feel like your body is loose, or for me I did, and maybe that could also be attributed to the fact that I wasn't very active during my pregnancy. So I think maybe for other people it's probably different depending on, you know, just your body, the way your body is. But as for my experience, that's what I went through. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thanks.